All right, well, welcome to Create Your Label. In the last segment, we talked about redefining what is a record label, and we talked about some of the new uses, specifically things like audiobooks. And that's because it allows you to tap into another world. But we really needed to go back to defining and talking about just what is internet television and who and why would someone want to have an internet television channel?
Interesting question. Yeah, I'm trying to look at, are people impacted by the idea that they clearly look at television and say, that's too far reaching? Well, when you say television to me, I think of traditional television. But what you're saying is the internet does not have all the overhead and the resources required. This is something more simple, more linear, more point of focus, similar to your part one segment. We said just a video, and an expression of you is your TV channel.
Exactly, Vic. It's been redefined. Exactly. Anyone who's bringing a variety, a series of video content on a continuing basis can have a channel.
Okay.
Now, this is where it gets a little crazy. And because search engines is part of the phenomena of our day.
Right.
And this is how people are finding you. So the best way for you to promote anything, whether it be your band, your book, your model, your modeling career, your consultant services, like whether it be things like cooking, cleaning, whatever you're doing, the best way to promote that is to do short videos and promote those videos up there in cyberspace on places like YouTube and to get known that way. That's why we talk about it. All right, so no matter what you're doing, that's why we wanted to bring an example. We built this platform, Paxtail TV, to showcase these particular things because as a tester, as a beta tester, I was turned on to software that was allowing you to combine video and search.
Right.
And then that was before it became popular. What do I mean? The fact that someone could search for fly fishing and come up with your fly fishing video.
Right.
The fact that someone could search quilting and come up with your video on quilting. There's someone that can come up with your video on real estate. That you can become a guru and in a way promote yourself and whatever you're doing, your music, again, your art form. That's the phenomena. And that's what we're talking about taking advantage. The number one place to go on the internet right now, what? Is YouTube.
Right.
Facebook and YouTube.
Right. Well, they're both synonymous. One, video, YouTube, which is a placement where you can have both best of both worlds because you can have it at YouTube as well and share cross platforms as well.
Well, exactly. So first of all, what is an internet television channel? An internet television channel is a place that you go on the internet where you can watch videos on a continuing basis. And how they're delivered to you can be done in a variety of ways. Perhaps the easiest way is for someone to have a YouTube account where they upload a series of videos and arrange those in the playlist because you can then click on a playlist and have it play on a continuing basis. They can put commercials in there. They can put lead in, lead outs, all these kinds of things into that and do that right there at YouTube.
Right.
So there's some phenomenal things you could do just with that. But people also need to recognize that today you can also, for free, use services like Ustream, Livestream, Justin TV, and broadcast to the world. By having an account at Livestream, you have the potential to have an unlimited number of viewers, the same at Ustream.
Right.
Phenomenally. So that means you could have this playlist you're doing, whatever videos you're showing, in a way that people all over the world can now tap into it on a continuing basis. That's what we're talking about. So now you can see how it went from you, even though your thing is real estate or your thing is your book. Now you can see why you have a channel, because your channel will be your ways of distributing short videos talking about what it is you're doing.
Let me ask you this, because everybody typically is spoiled by what they call the numbers revolution that YouTube has put upon us. that the credibility of the product and service or entertainment value is directly proportionate to the number of views. Are we now in an age where actually your brand is more important because you are doing a certain type of video that doesn't lend itself necessarily to entertainment but information?
Sure. And one thing about the views of YouTube, that just reflects the views there.
Right.
They don't necessarily reflect your views on other places or in embedded videos. In other words, people take and embed these videos wherever they go.
Right.
And for us, we know most of our videos are watched at other social networking sites. It's still the place to go, Vic. You got to get your videos up there on YouTube. And once on YouTube, we suggest you then have them some kind of a playlist in a way that you can produce it and distribute them to the audience so people can go up there and watch it and interact. And today that includes linking those services with Facebook.
Okay.
So whatever channel, whatever you're doing, you're going to be linking that with Facebook and using that to promote your videos, which is usually you talking about your services. Now, there's another thing that you could do to make your channel more interesting.
All right.
Imagine that you're into, for example, quilting, okay? And so you have a number of videos that talk about how to make quilts, different methods of quilts. So that's one thing. And that could be very interesting to watch. But part of branding yourself is branding yourself as a guru. So if you also include some of the best quilting videos out there from other people in your playlist,
right.
For example, if you go search them on YouTube and add them to your playlist,
right.
then that also brands you as an expert. And look how much more interesting that could be. Same thing goes like with music. If you're a hot rock band, that's great. You have about 10 or 15 videos, wonderful, all your stuff rotating. But what if you got the other hot rock bands in your area work together? Now you got something that's looking a bit more interesting, and you're spreading the service, and you're making something more watchable. That's the part that's really revolutionary. What you might do by linking up with other people similar to yourself and promoting like folks in your same internet television channel.
Now, we're talking about people that we're looking to point this towards a group of people who have yet to take advantage of the type of suggestions you're making. So we're not really talking about people who may have already gravitated to using footage. You're really specifically talking to those who have yet to embrace it yet.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And also to those who are already doing it, talking about different ways to use it, because a lot of people are making videos and putting them at YouTube,
right.
But they're not necessarily making channels.
Gotcha.
Some of them I think the idea is a little intimidating. But the point is, you can play around with it for free, so you should start right now. You should go to livestream.com tonight and sign up.
What is the number one in your mind or opinion, intimidating factor, whether you use the term a channel or TV in your opinion?
The number one intimidating factor is that they don't think they have videos that are good enough.
Are you saying that they don't think they themselves being on video is good enough, or that they don't produce videos that's good enough?
They don't produce videos that's good enough. In other words, people are more reluctant to shoot the home video things.
Right.
That we tell them to embrace.
Okay.
And the things we tell them, it's interesting. You can sign up for a channel at Livestream, Ustream, Justin. All of them allow you to shoot videos with your phone.
Right.
So you can just go about stocking up your channel with videos from your phone.
Right.
That's not state-of-the-art video production, but it's amazing what you can do. But you can start telling the story that is your life.
Okay.
And that's challenging. But I say you got to imagine you're Oprah. You got to imagine if some people are interested, that they want to know about you. And then you go on there and start to build that world. One thing that we like to say is that it's very rewarding and very hands-on, but the little time you put in, you get back stuff. You start to meet people.
Now, is it a reflection of the video? You can't blame the video on what it is that you have as your content, whatever is your product or whatever. If you have a good product, you have good content. Is it necessarily that the sale is what you put out there for people to receive? In other words, you may have wonderful products to sell, but you have to have the same focus on developing the video moment, the audio moment in such a way, in such a texture that is convincing. I mean, you can't just do a video. Don't you have to put in the same passion you would do as what you were doing? Okay.
Well, the better, it just doesn't have to be channel 7. It doesn't have to be major motion. We know we see viral videos that people shoot with anything.
Right.
So the one thing is that it doesn't technically require you to have the best equipment.
Okay.
But yeah, it's got to be interesting.
Okay.
And it's got, in other words, let's look at what we do with Pax Stereo TV. We created this platform. We couldn't get anybody to make shows, so we made our own shows.
Right.
And that's what Create Your Label is. That's what Morning Coffee is. That's what New Sports and Hot Picks. We're saying you have to start thinking about it and creating your own shows and work with them. You know how we showcase artists with live performances in studios. You can do that. You can go around and showcase people around your city, your town. So there's things that you could do. But the point is to get busy building your brand. And also, we said, Vic, you got to learn how to work with this environment anyway.
Right.
So just trying is great because it teaches you how to use the current technology in a way that's going to help you. No matter what you're doing, again, learning how to work with Facebook, YouTube, how to post videos, how to interact with people about whatever you're doing, that's number one, first and foremost, for most of us.
Are you saying, too, because there is a doctrine and philosophy, especially in independent and major record label and corporations, that to go to a visual presence for the artists you have, most of the time they like to premiere, the corporations, the larger record labels like to hold on until they're ready to release their artists for a number of reasons in campaigning. But the indie, who doesn't have as much, they are totally reliant on being able to say, look, you need to find out the pulse of your artists and see whether they have something that may be viral. Because in music, viral and video views are important. Would you say they need to put them out there to get a gauge from the public?
First of all, one thing good about this whole new wave of things is that ultimately it doesn't even matter what any of us think. You could do it your way.
Right.
So what we invite you to do is follow your heart. You could do it your way. The record labels have done it this way. They've been losing 20%, more of their market share anyway a year. So certainly I would not follow their lead. I would try to be my own pioneering person. But there's certainly room for you to do it your way.
Gotcha.
And you have a lot of places to put it. You got a lot of ways to talk about it. So that's the really wonderful thing about it. And you can get it there from your phone, from your laptop, from your iPad. You can get it to the internet.
Okay.
And again, now the scary part is that it's in your hands.
Right. Right.
That again is the scary part.
Right. Okay. I think the part of it is that we could tell people all the time what they can do, but a lot of times we have to say, well, if you don't do it competitively, you're giving up a lot of ground to others who are using it. And I think we always talk about the rewards, but if you don't use this, if you don't use social media, which is i.e. audio, video, packaging, brand, commercials, you're basically saying that your market value, you have a different penetration effort that's still as successful, and I don't know what that is right now.
There's nothing else. Hey, and the thing about this, Vic, is that it's essentially free.
Right.
That's the big thing about it. It's essentially free.
Or at least low cost.
At least low. In other words, you can shoot, we talked about it, you can shoot videos with your phone, with laptops, with other people's computers.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
At the library. So you can shoot the videos. You don't have to do anything elaborate. You can do simple things.
Right.
So it allows you room to do this. The point is to get busy, get started.
Okay.
And start to bring your product. I'm Earl Hemsley. This has been Create Your Label. We've been redefining what is an internet television channel. And we've been talking about who would want one and why.
Yes, sir.
And so we hope you've enjoyed that. And we'll see you, and we'll be back next time. Vic, I'm going to play a little piece of Mac.
Sounds good to me. And, hey, keep that visual perspective alive and well. All right.
In the upcoming segment, we'll be answering a question that relates to samples.
Okay.
I think you got this feeling that we don't